talking to you. I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you. You. I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you.
I'm talking to you.
Hi everyone. Thanks for tuning in to this week's podcast as I continue the quest to talk about our human identity. The world is in turmoil. It's the most hostile environment to be in right now. The rich are getting richer and the poor are getting poorer. The hearts of men have become desperately wicked. Who can know it? We are so unkind to each other. Those of us on social media think it's okay to ignore each other, not like or support and celebrate other people's progress and successes. No real encouragement or engagement. People are there just watching, not saying anything. It's quite spooky actually. There's this nothingness, mediocrity, emptiness. People are neither here nor there, just going through the motions. There is this overall sense of loss and being lost. There's this uncertainty, not knowing, not being. And then you have on social media what we call trolls. They're called cyberbullies, mean machines. They make the most awful comments on people's, status on Twitter. They follow people and maliciously harass and attack them. We are truly going through an identity crisis. We don't know who we are. We're not being humane. You see, our actions reveal what we think about ourselves as human beings. And from the condition of the world right now, human beings have lost the plot. We don't know what it is to be a human being. Therefore, we cannot be. What do human beings do? We cannot do. So there's this frustration. What am I meant to be doing? The answer to that question is what we are calling sometimes our purpose. We hear that word a lot. Have you found your purpose? Have you found your calling? Some of us in a certain community, we can feel unfulfilled or second class if we cannot answer yes to that question. For young people, we ask them the question, what do you want to be when you grow up? I mean, really? Adults don't even know. Many young people don't want to struggle like us anyway, and we don't want them to struggle like us either. So we cuddle them, we smother them, and we strive to send them to better schools than we went to. We force them into a system that may have worked back in the day, but it's now broken. What we call education is actually schooling, feeding us into a system of 9 to 5 working for someone else. So we go on this journey to find our purpose. We even have some coaches out there that will help us to find our purpose, our reason for being here on earth, and the right to breathe this free air. But I believe that there is a step before the doing. There is a step before purpose. Who you are, or to be more precise, who you think you are, determines your actions, what you do. As a man thinketh, so is he. Now in my last episode, I mentioned that I was going to watch the movie, The Woman King, and I did. The title was in keeping with my previous episodes about the Queen, kings, kingdoms, splendor, majesty, dominion, authority, and power. Anyway, to be very brief, the film was about a female army that protected a kingdom. And to be a part of that army, the women were not allowed to marry and have children. Man, these women were fierce and well trained. They caused male armies to retreat, and they overcame the Europeans, the European armies that invaded their territory, and the local armies that helped them. They impacted the slave trade by also providing alternative produce like palm oil for trading. It's actually based on a true story that I believe took place in Africa. The leader of the army was then crowned a woman king, not a queen. This to me is an interesting and important point about identity. Was she a queen, or was she actually a king, a female king, just the same as you have a male king? Well, I mentioned in one of my previous episodes that Christ asked his disciples, "Who do men say that I am?" A question of identity, his identity. Peter replied that he was the Christ, the Messiah, the Son of the living God. I'm asking, who told you that, Peter? Where did you get that from? Flesh and blood did not reveal that to you, Jesus told him. That revelation came from our Father in heaven. Jesus is King. The Father revealed who he was, his identity. And he behaves like a king. He's coming back as King of Kings. The believers of the gospel of the kingdom of God will be kings and priests and reign with him here on earth for 1,000 years. This is very good news, people. A righteous government ruling on earth with righteous people. That's why I believe I need to emphasize the identity of being a king and what kings do. I hope what I'm saying makes sense. It's not just about kings, there are other identities. Next week, I hope to talk about the female identity, what it is to be a female, but we'll see. Please subscribe to my podcast to get notifications of my weekly releases and share them with young hearts and minds. So as I like to say, be blessed.